Our next performer is Mr. Ville Heijari, Chief Marketing Officer of the Games Division at Rovio Entertainment. He recently returned to the company after working with mobile monetization at Playhaven Wangle and the game studio Two Men and a Dog. When I asked Ville which Angry Birds character King Carl Gustaf would be, he answered that Carl Gustaf would most obviously be King Pig, because this royal pig rules this well-organized and inventive society in a sovereign style, mostly with good intentions. I have to say that we have had some great answers today. Ville, be my guest.
Thank you. All right. So, my name is Ville Heijari. I'm not the CEO, the CMO for Rovio Games. And no, it said there, CEO. One day. Anyway, so I'm here to talk about Angry Birds from the App Store to the box office. So it's been quite the journey for this brand, and I'd like to sort of encapsulate where it came from and what it sort of takes to run it today and where it's going. So a bit of a quick overview. So basically, Rovio is Angry Birds is one of these 6-7 year in the making overnight success stories where actually very few people internationally at least know that the game studio was founded in 2003. This was like really early days of mobile gaming and very complicated market to be successful in. And Angry Birds launched in 2009 when the iPhone had been launched in 2007 and the App Store emerged in 2008. So that was like pretty much the market to launch such a thing. And in 2010, as early as 2010, we made like our first animated trailer, and now that was kind of a big thing, that it sort of showed that these characters might have like more life to them beyond the game. So the first animations were just simply trying to distinguish the brand in the mobile app marketplace. So everyone else was like showing gameplay of how their apps looked and played, whereas we tried to define like something distinguishing, like really presenting this fun storytelling sort of anarchistic trailer, and it got a lot of visibility and helped to get the game originally ranking in the app stores. And then, of course, today we're on a complete, we like to say that maybe this is like our third generation of Angry Birds, where we moved from simple games to this first animation iteration, and now we've come all the way to this like full-blown Hollywood CGI. But it's like I said, it's been a long journey, and when like the sort of success of Angry Birds started really blowing up in 2010. By 2012, we were already branched into like sort of different areas, and we were doing a lot of licensed products and merchandise and book publishing and animated series and all kinds of things. Not all of these were always successful, but like recently, we really focused with the movie production on two main branches of our business. So we have the animation company and games. Games we mostly make here in Finland, in Espoo. And we also have a game studio in Stockholm, and our animation business is pretty much based in Los Angeles, and we have an animation studio in Vancouver in Canada. But how did this become successful? Or why was this successful originally? Anyone? Like there's a, huh?
Addictive?
Yeah, why addictive? Like, yes? Yeah, I think haptic is a good sort of word, like if we're looking at it. Like personally, I believe that this was like really for many people like their first real like touchscreen interaction with like action and direct consequence. So you get like this really strong like visceral experience of feedback, action and consequence. But more importantly, the game was launched in 2009, and if we look at like global internet-connected device shipments. So you look at personal computers, there's nothing but personal computers up until 2005, when we have the first like Series 60 smartphones and so on. And in 2009, 2007, the iPhone starts to get market traction, but the market is still like pretty much early adopter phase. And in 2009, consequently Angry Birds was also released, you see this like exploding market of smartphones and tablets and more connected devices emerging. And then if we look further down the road, up until 2016, this market has been just completely growing year on year. Like in from 2010 to 2012, Google and Apple were pretty much making like press releases every other week of we've activated 300,000 devices this week and we've activated 400,000 devices this week. As you can see, in 2016, we're probably going to sell less devices than the year before. So this is a very saturated market already. Google still announces that they're adding hundreds of thousands of devices a week, but most of those are probably at this point like toasters and connected cars and stuff like that. So they don't yield into as many app downloads anymore. So an interesting sort of curiosity of this market is that in the US as early as 2014 already, so a couple of years ago, Comscore did a study of how many apps do people download on their phones on average. And the majority of their answers, like 65% of people supposedly download 0 apps per month. That is obviously not entirely true. It kind of depends on how you measure it and so on. But more recently this year, a mobile analytics company came to the conclusion that on average people download maybe between 1 and 2 apps every month. So when you're introducing new games, for example, or new apps to the market, it's really difficult to be that one app that person will download in quite a while. So very saturated, crowded marketplace. So we've come to this marketplace at an opportune timing, but we also put a hell of a lot of work into sort of fostering and developing this brand. So it's always been about the Angry Birds brand and the Angry Birds characters. We launched a whole bunch of games. Again, we were sticking to this premium business model, so selling paid apps for 79 cents or $99. And we've only like recently really turned around to be like a freemium free-to-play game company. But since we moved to free-to-play, like last year, pretty much Angry Birds 2 was our flagship product in that. And that game has been now downloaded more than 100 million times. And overall, like the brand has a sort of global awareness of 95%. So this is aided brand awareness. So you go and ask people like, do you know this brand that is such and such? And we're right there in the same ballpark as big properties, big global properties like Lego and Disney properties and so forth. Here's like our sort of brand exposure in numbers. So since 2009, there have been more than 2.5 billion game downloads, 26 million Facebook followers, 6 billion animation views on our Tunes channel, 2.5 billion YouTube views, and in 2015 alone, 480 million game downloads. So when we launch a major Hollywood motion picture, all of this helps, but it doesn't mean that this moves people into the theaters, into the box office, and makes them like buy the ticket. So this brand sort of, even though we have like a big footprint, this kind of marketing effort needs to take place to get people into the movies. And with reasonable results, because the movie was #1 most watched movie on its release week in 52 countries. And today this has made $347 million on box office. We still have Japan release coming up in October. We've gone into home entertainment, going to get some more traction there. And around this movie, like this sort of third generation set of characters and so on, we partnered with big global brands like H&M, McDonald's, Pez, Lego, and we have like overall like over 300 other licensees. So this is like the opportunity that not many gaming brands have, as they focus like only on providing the service of the game. So through the brand development, we of course have a healthy game business, but we've had the opportunity to go and partner with major global players and go all the way to producing a global motion picture. And it really boils down to the fact that even in that sort of, if you think of like the original game as crude compared from production values compared to the current state of the brand, we have managed to create this really delightful set of characters that really like taps into something joyful. And we keep providing more content, keep providing more characters and tapping into this world we created as we go on. So stay tuned because more big things are on the way. Thank you.